Hello, everyone out there. Welcome to Dunrovin Ranch in lovely Lolo, Montana. I am your ranch manager, Kelly, and look what the cat dragged in. I'm here with Suzanne Miller, the owner and genius of this endeavor.
The cat dragged in. Do we have a cat?
You know, look at my, you just blew my mind. I'm not ready for that. No, but I gotta tell you though, the sun is shining. It feels like 50. I mean, it really does feel like 50.
It does.
It's actually 17 degrees outside. As you know, we've had 2 wicked cold nights, and we're still gonna be inside for at least today's broadcast, and all the critters are fine, all the humans are fine, everything's going well. It's 2 o'clock, so it must be time for a Dunrovin broadcast. And today we are going to reintroduce and share fond memories of our very own Harriet and Hal. Harriet and Hal Osprey, that's their full name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've asked you to send in some memories, some photos, some videos, and I went on to Melissa's YouTube channel and poached. That's where I got the videos, is mostly I poached those videos. And there were a couple of things that everyone liked, a couple of things. So we included those.
I can guess some of those. I want to see if I can guess.
Yeah, what's one of them?
Oh, the Egbert.
Yes.
Egbert had to have been top of the list.
Egbert's on there, and well, there's one more. There's one more episode of things that was everyone's favorite.
Oh, I can think of lots of things. With Hal or with Harriet?
Both.
With both. All right.
You won't be surprised. You won't be surprised when we find out.
Okay.
Okay. So without further ado, we're looking at beautiful Harriet. Of course, is popped up on the screen. We're going to start with that. Isn't she a love?
And I have to say something about this photo. I don't know if some of you will remember that a number of years ago we had a young man from Poland who came out here, and he happened to be the winner of the entire European photographic contest for wildlife. And he showed up in Montana, and he came out and got on top of our roof. We had a little platform up there, and he captured this gorgeous photo of Harriet as she flew over him.
Amazing. It's beautiful.
It is. It's one of my favorites.
So I thought we'd start with, because I know we're getting excited. It's 2.5, 3 weeks away is all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, I'm excited. Okay, and then we're going to go into, and I'm going to tell a story about my first encounter.
Oh, yes.
With Harriet. And I started here at the ranch January, February of 2017, and I get on the chat, and I'm getting to know all of you, and you're all talking about the bird and Harriet and the Osprey, and you're sharing stories and getting excited, and I don't quite know what to make of all of this because, I don't know.
It's insane.
It's insane. In a loving way, it's really insane. So the countdown's happening, and well, my first thought is that, and I think it was the first year, is I'm on the chat, and Dunrovin Celia is typing, and it comes up all caps, and all the words start with 0, but I can't read. It's like abaga, asaga, abaga, abaga. I'm like, what on earth is she trying to spell? And finally she gets out Osprey on the chat because she had seen someone on the nest. Well, my first sight of Harriet, I was right outside the office, and there had been a whole goose thing, there had been a whole egg thing, and we don't know what to do. A goose laid an egg in the nest, and over my right shoulder comes Harriet, dive bombed the nest, no more goose, and ever since then I have been a huge Harriet fan.
I remember the day under the nest that day, because we had a number of people here. You were setting something up in the arena.
I think so.
And we had several people here. And so when the goose came and laid an egg, we're out there lobbing tennis balls, and I've brought out
rocks,
my firecrackers, and I mean, we're trying to dislodge that Mrs. Goose.
Nothing.
It didn't faze her at all. We thought, this is terrible.
She was actually watching us. Watching us.
Yeah. But let me tell you who did faze her. Miss Dive Bomb Harriet.
Oh, Gosh, I'll never forget that. That was amazing. And then we have this. The next picture is my proof of the second year, because the second year, and both of these days were April 1st. The second year you were in Missoula, and Harriet returned, and I took a selfie of myself with Harriet on the nest in the back, up there on the nest. I texted that to you in Missoula so you would have proof that Harriet had returned.
Our gal is back.
That's our gal. And then Dunrovin Celia has a memory. She's been watching the eggs since 2012, and the year the first nest failed, and she said that she can't wait for you to identify the osprey on the nest as Harriet. And would you tell us how you do that?
Well, in fact, just today I put on a post in the rumors section. If you go to the rumors section on our website, I just put up a post that I'm calling the Eyes of March. And I am showing you the difference between Harriet's eyes and Hal's eyes. And that's really how we identify the ospreys. They look so much alike because their plumage is very similar. So we put up the eyes of Harriet has a lot of dark specks in the lower quarters of both of her eyes. So no matter which side you see of her, you're going to see a row of dark specks.
Okay.
And that's really the telltale sign that this female is Harriet. You can tell she's a female, of course, by her necklace.
Of course.
She has a very distinct necklace.
Yeah. Something I've noticed in going through I spent several hours going through photos and videos, is it seems that, maybe because it's older, her feathers seem more puffed up often. Or is that not true, or is that just something that's random that I've seen?
Well, it could be because she's bigger. She's about a third larger.
Females
about a third larger than the male. So the male automatically looks a little more streamlined.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I agree. Both Ozzy and Hal had a more streamlined figure, if you will.
A little more sleek.
A little more sleek.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Hal returns, and we have to make sure it's Hal, because there's a lot of fake Hals that come. And I think that's a lot of fun. Is that Hal? No, it's not. Is that Hal? Maybe it's the intruder from last year. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It's so much fun. And then when Hal finally does return, and we're sure it's Hal, and they start doing their thing, they start nest building. And I found on Melissa's I Love's YouTube channel a montage of Harriet bringing in sticks and building a nest, which I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I'll play it now. It's fantastic. Isn't that great? The nest is quite a bit smaller there, isn't it?
Well, it's amazing how every year the nest gets rebuilt up. It's flattened by their late summer use and by winter, of course. And by the time the eggs are laid, it's just this wonderful, lovely bowl with all kinds of duff, primarily in the form of Dunrovin hay, I might add.
We have that in here, yes. Other things too.
Other things. They strip the bark of the cottonwood, and it makes a wonderful duff. And occasionally they bring in something that's not right, like baling twine. We're really careful around here, but there are other properties around that are not so careful with their baling twine, and they do find it occasionally.
Yeah, that's very dangerous, isn't it?
It is. And then Hal likes potted plants. You notice that?
I did notice. He likes a lot of odd things.
He does. Yeah.
And then when she's done with this, then there was something that two people found very, very interesting. And that has to do with Harriet and Hal. And Hal came in 2015, isn't that right?
Yes.
And it appeared from his behavior that he had never really done this before.
Oh, it was obvious.
It was obvious.
Let's just get real.
Let's just get real. So early on, we thought that perhaps he was there on the perch, and he was kind of sidling up to her, and we thought that perhaps he was trying to, get to know her a little bit. and we thought he might be sidling in for a little smooch. So pretty soon that'll pop up, and we can sidle over. Yay! Ta-da!
Ta-da! We're kind of moving on in here.
He's
Is this
moving.
from 2015?
This is. I'm not sure this one exactly.
Okay.
Probably because of the crawl at the bottom. I can
Yeah.
see that's probably 2015. I
Yeah,
have
there
dates
he
for
goes.
most of them. Here he goes.
There he goes. So, did anybody mention how he got his name?
No.
Well, Ozzy was killed in 2014, in August of 2014, and Harriet stayed and took care of her chicks and went away. And when she came back in 2015, the beginning of 2015, of course she didn't have a mate, and it was pandemonium. In fact, we counted up 6 different Osprey that tried to mate with her in one weekend. And she accepted one of them that we automatically called Heiko, because Heiko Langer had been instrumental in getting the web camera up here with us. He was with the University of Montana. Well, Heiko didn't last long. There were more fights, and so the next guy we called Victor, because he was the victor of all the fights. Okay. Well, Victor didn't last long either, although Harriet ended up with these 2 eggs. Okay. And we were all getting, kind of wringing our hands thinking, Harriet, you got to pick one and stick with it, you know? And that's when Hal showed up. And gangly, little Hal, and we were all wondering, oh my goodness, this is the one? But we said hallelujah. So it's hallelujah, Hal.
Hal, that's how he got it.
Finally, we have a mate. And he got rid of the first egg, like they normally do, but he didn't get rid of the second egg. And he practiced.
We have to wait on that. I know, it's wonderful. So now we're going to go in, and there's an egg in the nest right there. So was that the egg that popped, or no?
Well, the first egg was rolled out.
Right.
The second egg just stayed and stayed and stayed,
And finally got a little warm.
and finally got very warm. Yes. All on
And so this is a video, and Hal is quite the decorator.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea
Yeah.
that it wasn't just sticks. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it was.
Oh, no.
There
Potted plants.
must be an Osprey mall or something around here, because he's a shopper. And here he is. He's bringing some grass or leaves to the nest. And I brought this in here because he circles and he circles and he circles, and then he brings it and he circles and he circles. It's really something to watch. You could really spend hours and hours.
Oh, he's very funny.
Here he goes. Whoa! And then we're
Yeah.
going to come back. He's a great guy.
Yeah. Another flyby. Showing off for his new gal.
He must be. And this is 2016.
Beginning of
I
2016.
believe so. Oh, this is 2015.
Oh,
Actually.
Yeah.
2015.
We really were just delighted that she settled on a mate.
I bet.
Yeah.
Do they ever not? I wonder.
Well, yes, and there have been incidences of one male with 2 nests. That would be one busy guy.
yeah,
you know?
secret life.
Yeah, well, not so secret when you're delivering fish to 2 nests.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but that's uncommon. And the other thing I wanted to mention was back to the goose egg that you talked
Yes.
about. Geese eggs have actually been hatched by ospreys. Now, the little fledglings don't last long because they're not properly cared for.
Right.
But I find that amazing.
Yes. I'm surprised. Actually, I find that surprising that they would do that knowing they weren't. You'd think they would know that it wouldn't survive. Maybe they don't know.
Well, I think they probably do know, but they can't get the egg out of the nest.
Right.
And they've got their own eggs, so they're going to incubate their own eggs right along
At
with
the same
it.
time,
The
I
same
understand.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful shot, isn't it? That's from the ranch cam.
Yeah,
Lovely, lovely Lolo in the background.
right.
We've got we have another image, a couple images of something that Hal likes to bring to the nest,
yes.
and he likes lawn. Apparently, he likes to have a lawn up there in the nest.
Potted plants every year.
He must swoop into a neighbor's yard and
I don't know where he's
put
getting
divots
them.
in there. It's not
Yeah.
ours. It's not our lawn. He must
I
be
don't
getting it
think so.
somewhere.
Yeah. There he is.
It's beautifully placed. It's very aesthetic.
Okay, now you're looking straight on Hal, And you can see the difference between Hal and Harriet, because see how his dark feathers don't all the way come all the way down to his beak? There's kind of a little white above his beak.
Okay.
That's another distinguishing feature between the two of them.
And no necklace.
No necklace. And with Hal, he has really clear eyes. He's more difficult to identify, and that's why we commonly misidentify him. But I have come to document over the last several years that he has a distinctive mark on his beak. And it's on the sides on both sides of the beak. So it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, come on, Osprey.
Yeah.
We have a video now. There's a lot of pole vaulting happens as well with the big sticks.
Yeah.
And whoa, good boy. Yo! And under the nest are a lot of sticks, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of sticks.
We've been hit riding in the arena onto the nest.
I've nearly been hit with fish. I was warned when I started this job that I might be hit on the head with fish, not that they would just give me a hard time, which they do a lot of the time. And no, I haven't been hit by a fish, but I have been sent to retrieve fish that have been dropped under the nest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Kola has retrieved his share.
Oh, I bet. It's not pretty. And then, of course, Hal, for some reason, thinks manure is a spectacular gift.
Yes. Horse droppings.
Horse
apples.
droppings. You know, he needs to step it up a little bit because there's still plenty around.
Yeah.
I wish we could train him to kind of just move it. He's really good. And then there's that. There's more, I think. That's more of a... That's more... Oh, this is hay. That's the hay they steal from you.
Oh, yeah.
They steal hay.
They never pay.
They never pay. And you know, well, they pay daily, Suzanne. Don't they pay with just the joy they bring?
With the enjoyment, yeah. And their entertainment.
And what a place to land. They got hay. They got the river right there.
Yeah.
They've got manure. They've got grass.
All the needs of
All the
life, right?
needs. And they're part of their own reality TV show. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. Stars.
Now this is, I was sent this because this is really how I think of Harriet. This was sent to me by a member. Look at her face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's yelling.
She's yelling, and she yells.
Oh, yeah, she's not quiet.
When I started looking through these videos, and noise, and there's various calls they make that you learn to identify, because we're here working, and there's the normal chirping, here comes a fish, and then there's the alarm sound, and everyone who work here stops there, looks up in the air, and oh God, what's happening?
And that alarm sound is very distinct. It's short, cheep, 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 cheep.
And you know it.
Oh, you know it. And oftentimes we'll run out with our binoculars to try to see if there is an eagle, or even one year we had a great blue heron attack the nest. So it's, you know, osprey chicks are desired prey by a number of other birds of prey, owls and eagles.
At night, great horned owls come in. You can see them in the night.
That's right. So it's a really important job to protect the chicks. Just because they're up there by, you know, in an isolated nest doesn't mean that there aren't predators about.
That's right, and day and night.
Yep,
because
day and night.
we are able to see it.
I'm really happy to see that Brookdale is on the chat.
Oh, great.
Hi to Brookdale.
Hi, Brookdale.
Yeah.
Now, this is everyone's favorite. Hal didn't know how to make eggs.
Oh,
or
yeah.
he didn't know how to mate.
To put it mildly.
To put it mildly. And many people think this is so funny. And it says, I was told by a member, you wouldn't believe the cheering that went on when he finally figured out which end was which and what to do about it.
It's true. You know, the first year when Hal came back, we all called him Hapless Hal.
Oh.
Hapless Hal, because he just didn't understand anything. He didn't understand how to sit an egg, and that's why that first egg in 2015, the practice egg, was so important. And you could literally see him try to sit one way, get up and move, try to sit another way, get up and move, and try to sit another way. You know, they have what are called brood patches. and getting the brood patch on the egg. You know, it's something you have to learn
Sure.
to do.
Not everyone can change a diaper right away.
That's right, exactly. At any rate, it was so fun to. You could just watch this bird learn.
It's so great.
That's the wonderful thing about these web cameras is that you get to know animals on an individual basis and watch their life, and it's way more complex than you might think.
It's fascinating, and it's so much goes on every single day.
Yeah.
Our ears become attuned to the sound. We've had eagles come in, a lot of eagles come in during the day.
Well, and they follow a very, set rhythm. The first thing in the morning, from really earlier than I like to get up. Thank goodness we have members on the East Coast that get up.
Yes.
Hal's bringing in fish because they've gone a number of hours without fish, and so we have these long days in Montana, and Hal's out there at the break of dawn, and he's actually brought fish in the middle of the night.
Wow.
Which is really unusual, and it had to have been a full moon night for him to be able to see.
And now that we have a cam at the river, we'll be able to watch him fish. Oh, that's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
And also the way ospreys get water is in their fish.
Yes, they don't drink.
They don't drink. So so on a especially hot day, you need to bring those fish in.
Absolutely.
Now this is Hal on the eggs.
Oh, yeah.
And Harriet giving him some stink eye.
You know, what's interesting is for several years, we ran this project with the school kids called Awesome Osprey. And the research question was, how often does the male incubate the egg relative to the female? Okay? And 2 of the years that we ran the project, it was with Ozzy, the original mate for Harriet. And over those 2 years, it was very consistent in that Harriet sat on the egg about 70% of the time, and Ozzy had about 30% of the time. So this last year, we did it again, and this time it was Hal. And and both of those, by the way, are more than what's reported in the literature. The literature has females more than 70%. So Ozzy liked to sit on the egg, and it turns out so does Hal, and we documented that he was like 66% of the time.
I think it's Harriet saying, you know what, buddy?
Yeah, yeah.
You can do the work today.
Yeah. So, I mean, she was 66%. And
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good.
That's very good, yeah.
And then, of course, the fish come in all day long. Now, I believe that this video will show us a little bit. And there's actually an egg under there.
Yeah.
And
you can tell.
Was it July? He brought in almost 80 fish.
Oh, yeah.
There's the fish. Look at that.
Yeah. Big fish.
Yeah, they fish all day long. And you're going to be able to actually see them dive into the water and grab them this year.
Yeah.
Many, many times a day.
And for those of you who are new, oftentimes, before the fish arrives at the nest, the male will take his portion by eating the head. So a lot of headless fish come to the nest. I mean, a lot of intact fish, alive fish. Some of them wiggle right off the nest, in fact.
Yes, that happened last year.
That happens, yeah. But oftentimes, the male has his meal first, delivers it to the female and the chicks, and then if there's anything left over, he'll come back and take it again.
This is 2016. No, the next one's 2016. Now the next one's great. Now the next one's an intruder. An intruder flew over, and I think it's wonderful because you can see how, I believe Hal comes in afterwards, sits on the nest, and they change places. Tell me what happens here. This is 2016.
Well,
what's interesting is you can watch their faces, and there is sound to this. I don't know if that's being broadcast or not.
Well, that's him sitting on the nest.
Okay, watch what happens here. You can tell me. I'm sure our members know. You can see someone's going to swoop in from the distance.
Well, he's very curious. He's watching.
He's hears.
Very alert. Very alert. Since I can't hear this, I'm not sure exactly what. Oh, here he goes.
Here we go. Something's coming.
Yep, something's coming. So he's going to. And it's up above.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh!
Yeah. It's another osprey.
Another osprey. Probably a male coming to take the nest.
Probably a male trying for the nest, and here Harriet arrives.
And then Harriet arrives, and then Hal
Right.
takes off after the intruder.
Yeah. This is the fun thing about having these perches nearby, where they can go and perch and keep an eye on the nest and fly back if there's trouble.
Well, we do have extra perches that have been put up on the property and in the horse pasture.
Yeah, we do have, two of them were blown over this last year, so this spring we'll have to put 2 more up.
And then our cameras can also see those perches.
Right. In fact, the bench camera will be very good.
Yeah, we have 2 new camera sets last year.
Right.
And boy, are we going to have complete coverage of the ranch. And then he flies off. She came in and then he flies off. It's wonderful. You can also see the doings down below on the ranch from the Nest camera often.
Yeah. And the nice thing about the ranch camera is you can get a far off view and you can see above the nest, so you can see when eagles come from above.
And now, Egbert.
Oh,
So
Egbert.
the Egbert story is that there were 2 eggs in the nest, and Hal got rid of 1. Is that right?
That's right.
He went. Can we back? Oh, I guess we missed it on our monitor. Can we show that again? I also have a memory from I Love that said when Harriet came in 2015, and after Ozzy, no male came, and then let me see. Oh, and then the male came and left, and then Harry was acting really weird and then laid an egg. And they were all like, wait a minute, she didn't mate. And then they realized, oh,
Yeah,
they lay eggs anyway.
A offside mating.
Oh, is that it? Or do they lay
they-
eggs without being made like chickens?
They can.
They can, okay.
Yeah. And not at the nest. She could have been mating in a tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go. And then I have a picture here of the nest at night because it's really, really neat. People stay up all night. Isn't that beautiful? Everyone loves that shot too. That's what the light did on the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. The nice thing about having the night light, of course, is that you can see that it's a very busy place at night. And had we not had the night light up there, we would have completely missed Mrs. Great Horned Owl. And Mrs. Great Horned Owl has been here now for 3 years in a row. So
I don't like her. I'm sorry, Mrs. Great Horned Owl.
well, she's,
I mean, you know.
Oh, I know. But she's around.
Oh, the
Yeah.
panic that happens.
Yeah, she's fearsome, and she most definitely would take the chicks.
Yes.
And this has happened, and I want to tell you, all new viewers, that this is a wonderful, wonderful thing to get engaged with. But it is nature. No one's in charge out here, and sometimes some really, unhappy things happen, like Ozzy getting killed by an eagle, and we knew it the day that he was.
Yeah.
And
it would, joyous things happen as well,
Joyous
and
things.
nature is nature.
That's right.
And I think what I love the most about this is the members. We're all in this together,
yes,
and we can talk to each other, and we can laugh together, and if we have to grieve together, we grieve together.
yeah,
It's incredible.
It is, and who would have known that by watching the same bird over a number of seasons, that you would become so emotionally attached? I mean, I really am. I wept mightily when we got Ozzy's body back. It was very disturbing to me, because I had watched him for a number of years and really felt bonded to him. And I find it just such an interesting phenomenon that we have these birds that come every summer, and we get to look right into their lives. They fly over, and we're nothing but little specks on the ground to them. We matter not in their world, but they matter a great deal in ours.
But in Ozzy now, tell us where Ozzy is.
Well, I was really pleased that we were able to find his body. And we took him to Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, and they have stuffed him by one of the best taxidermists in the state. And he is now on a wall, on a nest with a female, and it has some baling twine in it, and the whole display is about baling twine and how people need to be careful about displaying.
I want to go see him.
Well, I'll take you there.
What city? Where is he?
He's in a place called Montana Wild, which is run by the Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. It's in Helen. It's a wonderful, wonderful educational facility. And they have participated with us for a number of years on Awesome Osprey. Really great people. They also have a rehabilitation center for birds of prey and, forget this, bear cubs. And I have talked with them about getting a web camera in their facility, and they're interested. We should get that going.
That would be a great field trip, and we could take a photo, because have you all seen a photo of Ozzy stuffed yet?
Well, I think I sent him a photo of him during the process of him being him, when I went over to the taxidermist in Helena and took his body.
Oh gosh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. It was very, sad, and yet I was glad that he continues to teach people.
And the life cycle at the nest goes on and on and on. It's wonderful.
Exactly.
And it's starting. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
And I don't know if all of you watched this morning, but every year is different, and this is a first for us. We had to give a guy with a big boy toy, i.e. a front end loader, out to clear a path in our arena so the bucket truck could actually get in there, because we have so much snow.
So much snow.
Yeah, this is a first for us.
And he also made a road for G3 in the pasture, and I sent G3 pictures while it was happening, and he wrote back all capital letters, yes! And the horses are good.
Yeah, and just to give you who are not familiar with this kind of snow, we wanted to get it done today while it was still cold, because once it starts to warm, it will pack, and it'll get really heavy, and then it'll be really hard to move.
I've learned a lot about snow from you, Suzanne.
Well, I'm a snow girl.
You know it, yeah. I can tell you about a beach, but
I don't know beaches.
Okay, I'll tell you.
That's right. But I know snow.
Well, and these are you can't have one of these, but I thought we would show that I'm ready.
Oh, Osprey hat.
I'm ready.
Yeah, Missoula Osprey.
Missoula Osprey are a baseball team.
Yeah.
But I get these at my favorite shopping spot every so often.
That's great.
So should we say goodbye? And
thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And for sharing your memories, because I just love the fact that we all have our own little things that we focus on that make them special to us individually. And
the countdown, I think it's already begun.
Oh, it has for me. I'm going to check the chat just to see
she
if
came back on the earliest. You said March 19th,
23rd.
23rd. But this is it's still pretty cold right now. So I guess it depends on.
Well, it depends on what conditions are like where they are, not here. They don't send for an email.
They don't.
I read the National Weather Service.
They don't subscribe to the Weather Channel.
No, and a lot of scientists think that it's really more determined by day length. Because that's the same every year. So,
interesting.
Yeah, and there's a great deal of variation. Harriet is one of the early migrators, because I believe that the two, Lewis and Iris at Hellgate, come back a little bit later, and they generally have their chicks, or 10 days to 2 weeks after ours.
We always worry about Iris because she comes after, and you never know.
Yeah, she comes after. So. Yeah, it's a big time frame of about a month between the first osprey that you will see in the Missoula area to the last one. And for those of you who are new, I will also say that we have an osprey with a radio collar on it, or actually it's a radio backpack that's on her wing, and her name is Rachel, and she was not collared, but fitted with her backpack at a nest that's just south of us. And during her first year's migration back, what normally happens is the chicks will fly south to the Gulf of Mexico, and then they'll stay a summer or two down there without migrating, and then they start to come back to their area of birth. But she went all the way to Alaska.
Missed the turn.
And then she came back, and then the next year she did come back.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if she's still wearing her radio collar or radio transmitter
or
not.
That's incredible.
Isn't that wonderful information?
Yes.
Yeah. This is at the MPG Ranch, which is
right over here,
south of us, just a little ways.
Well, I see. Since we've been doing this for 30 minutes now, I've got this feeling in my chest. I've got the excitement happening.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Thanks,
all
Harry
of you.
and Hal.
Thanks, Harry and Hal. Come on,
Yeah.
guys, come
And
on.
Thanks, James.
Thank you. Oh, James is here. He was quiet today.
Howdy.
There he is. Thanks all very much. So our next broadcast is coming up. That's going to be Thursday at 2. I'm going to introduce you to El Capitans.
El Capitans.
Is that how you say it in plural?
Yeah.
El Capitans. Lewis, Captains Lewis, co-captains Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
Cute little pony horses.
Yeah.
And that's Tuesday at 2.
Okay.
And then Sunday at 2 again is always diva training.
And then Sunday at 6 this week, we have...
Chat.
Well, it's a broadcast, The Great American Trials. We're going to be talking about Clarence Darrow. Fascinating character from history. So if you haven't been reading about him, go on the website.
Please do.
Read about him. He's fascinating.
There was a question about where people can get those hats. And,
These hats?
Yeah.
Do you know where I get them? The Ospreys are a local baseball team. I get these at Goodwill. People dump, and there's tons of them there.
Yeah. We have Osprey hats that we used to. I don't know how many we have left. But an interesting thing about the Osprey baseball team is they are considering changing the name of their mascot. There was a
What?
I know. There was a big article in the newspaper about them wanting to do that because, quote unquote, too many other teams have birds for.
Pshaw, I say.
Oh, and the really sad thing would be is they have an osprey's nest that overlooks their stadium. Who else in the whole world would have an osprey, their mascot, nesting at their stadium?
Tell you what I'll do. These are pretty much new when I get them MVP. I'll grab as many as I can, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write to the baseball team and should I write to the baseball team and get a bunch of them?
Yeah, if they go, particularly if they change.
Tell you what, and I can just
mascots.
I can get rid of them at cost. How about that?
Yeah.
Can I get rid of them at cost
Yeah,
plus postage?
absolutely.
Would you all be interested in that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I love them.
Okay. Some folks are interested in the hats from Brookdale.
From Brookdale, great.
Oh, they said, "Yay, Kelly!" Okay, we'll bring them to.
And I'm going to be at Brookdale on April 13th
Yeah.
with the donkeys.
Yeah. Yeah. You won't be alone.
Can I leave them there?
Oh, now that is a good question. I wonder what they would say about that.
They'd love it. You'd love it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well-
yes, I'll bring as many hats as I can, folks.
Thumbs up to Brookdale.
Thumbs up to Brookdale.
Thumbs up to all of our members, and thanks a lot.
Our long-suffering members. Thanks all. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.